Dr. Joe DeMarco, chiropractor and owner of OcraMed Health. And in my office, I treat a lot of athletes, a lot of weightlifters, and as a result, I end up treating a lot of shoulder injuries. And one thing I've noticed in almost 30 years of practice is that a lot of these people with shoulder injuries, and many of them have recurring shoulder injuries, there's a common thing that I find, and that is these people have very tight shoulders in internal rotation. And you've probably seen athletes and weightlifters, that posture where their shoulders are kind of like rolled forward like that. And if you ask these people to externally rotate or bring the shoulders back, it's very uncomfortable, very tight for them. So they're stuck in kind of this internally rotated position of the shoulders. Now, why is that? Well, the internal rotators of the shoulder are associated with larger muscle groups. Your pec major is an internal rotator of the shoulder. Your lats internally rotate your shoulders. Even out of your four rotator cuff muscles, your subscapularis is actually the strongest of the four, and that's an internal rotator. So the internal rotating muscles that internally rotate a lot of times get tight with exercise. As you could imagine, a common example is the pec major, bench pressing, shoulder press, dumbbell presses, push-ups. These muscles get larger, but they get tight. And if you're not rolling them regularly, if you're not doing stretching with them regularly, they get tight and they start creating this posture. And in addition to that, our external rotators are actually smaller. You're dealing with like your infraspinatus, your teres minor, and they become weak. So you got weak external rotators and tight internal rotators. That's a formula for an injury. So we got to try to work on this. If you're noticing that your shoulders are tight in internal rotation, it's a good way to get injured. You know, you go into the gym and you're doing movements now that may require external rotation. You know, you grab a bar to do some bicep curls, you jump up on a chin-up bar to do some pull-ups or some pull-downs, and you're forcing external rotation. It's a good way to injure your shoulder. And we talked about this in a previous video in regards to even creating bicep tendonitis. I'll put the link up above me. You may want to check that out because the tightness in the internal rotators of the shoulder can also lead to some bicep tendonitis. But today we're talking about general shoulder injuries, and we're kind of focusing on the pec major internally rotating the shoulder. You know, the pec has a large origin comes from off of the underneath the clavicle, the sternum, the upper ribs, but then the muscle itself inserts on the lateral lip of the bicipital groove, and when it gets tight, like I said, it turns the shoulder inward, and it can get stuck in that position. So I'm going to show you a technique that I give my patients. There's not one technique that's going to fix this, but this technique is very helpful in releasing the pec major, and at the same time, this technique, we actually strengthen the external shoulder rotators. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. It's a great technique I want to share with you today, so here we go. Okay, so here's all we're going to need. I have a band. I have one end behind the door, hooked up to the door. I'm not actually using a handle because I want to just kind of grip the band in my hand like this. Other thing I'm going to use, I'm going to have a Tai Chi ball from OcraMed Health. If you don't have a Tai Chi ball to dig into the tissue, for now you can use your knuckles will come in handy. You can use your knuckles. But I'm going to use a Tai Chi ball. So here's how the technique's going to work on the pec major. And at the same time, as we release the pec major, we're going to be strengthening the external rotators. I'm going to hold on to the band. I'm going to have my shoulder fully internally rotated and in this position like this. I'm going to take the ball. Doesn't matter what position I'm going to start in because I'm going to be moving it around, but I'm going to press into the pec major and then I'm going to pull towards the midline. So I'm pressing in and then pulling towards the midline. So I'm trapping the tissue of the pec major underneath the ball. And then from this position, I'm going to come out with the arm. So I'm working this motion here, and then right as I come towards the end, I'm going to externally rotate the shoulder. Just like that in a nice controlled manner. Then I'm going to come back, internally rotate again. I'm going to move the ball over a little bit, push in, pull to the midline, come out, externally rotate. Just like that. I'm moving the ball around each time, and each time I press in, pull to the side, I come out, and I externally rotate. So I'm strengthening those external rotators. At the same time, I'm getting a release on the pec major, because this motion alone, if I was to do it without the band, if I internally rotate and externally rotate and stretch back, I'm stretching the pec major. However, with the ball in here, I'm trapping tissue and stretching, so we're going to pull some of that tight tissue apart by trapping and stretching. And then, of course, we're adding resistance, so as we do this, we're going to strengthen the external rotators. So like I said, it's kind of a great way of doing it because at the same time I'm doing the release work, I'm doing the strengthening work. So for this initial position, trapping the tissue, coming here, I'm going to do 5 repetitions just like that. So 5 different places. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to trap again. And it doesn't matter if you go over some of the same spots, but try to move it around. I'm going to trap again, and this time I'm going to angle up and externally rotate in this position like that. I'm going to come back, move the ball again, pull to the midline, and we're going to do 5 repetitions at this angle. Then we're going to come back again after 5 of those. Again, I keep trapping and pulling over to the midline, and I'm going to angle this way. And I'm going to come back, trap, pull over, and externally rotate. And we're going to do that for 5 repetitions. So it's going to be a total of 15. There's going to be 5 straight across like this, where I'm externally rotating, 5 up at this angle, 5 at that. So 15 times you're going to do the release. After you get done, take about 60 seconds, and then I want you to come back and I want you to repeat it. So you're going to do it twice. So there's going to be 2 sets of basically 15 repetitions on that movement, and then of course you're going to do the other side. Most people that have some tight internal shoulder rotators, I find, one might be a little tighter than the other, but generally people are tight on both sides because they're doing chest work on both sides. So they're going to usually have tightness on both sides, although one side can be tighter than the other. So 2 sets of 15 on the left, then 2 sets of 15 on the right. You're going to notice 2 things after you get done with this. You're going to notice a great release in the pec. The pecs are going to feel looser. You're not going to feel so tight in internal rotation. And at the same time, in the back here where your external rotators are, your infraspinatus, your teres minor, you're going to have kind of a pump in there. You're going to feel the blood flowing through that tissue. You can even feel some burning as you're doing this motion with the band. You might get a little bit of a burn back there, which is good, because you're working those external rotators. So it's going to be great. You're going to feel some strengthening going on as you feel the fascia release work, all right? So give that technique a try. All right, so there you have it. A lot of times people email me in after videos and they'll ask what size Tai Chi ball we used in that particular video. So I just want to let everyone know this is what we call a regular size Tai Chi ball that we use today. We have the max balls, we have the mini balls. Any of those 3 sizes would actually be good for that particular technique, but I was using a regular size Tai Chi ball in that video. All right, hey, when you get a chance, visit my website, www.OcraMedHealth.com. We have Tai Chi balls in stocks. We have bands in stock. SRI 2.0 is in. And also, I'm back at the gym. A lot of people are back at the gym. I'm a firm believer in keeping hand sanitizer in my gym bag when I'm at the gym in between exercises. So I decided for my subscribers to start carrying. We have some hand sanitizer also in stock on my website if you need some. They're nice little bottles. You can pop them in your gym bag. They're awesome to carry around these days. So, all right, hey, if you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to my channel, OcraMed Health on YouTube. Questions about exercises or injuries, just leave a comment in the comment section below. I do everything I can to get back to everyone. And don't forget, OcraMed Health is here to keep you fit forever.